Today I would like to speak with you about my personal experience of transitioning from cinematic drone like a Mavic 3 Pro to FPV full manual Avata 2. And this process made me feel comfortable and easy to transition from GPS assisted flight to full manual mode. So obviously you will need Avata 2 drone, and you will need also FPV controller 3, which I have here. And once you will purchase it, the first thing you want to do is to make the left stick loose so that it was moving freely and not centering automatically. And now I will show you how to do this. And in order to bring the FPV controller to the manual mode so that this left stick was not coming back to the center position, what you will have to do, you will just have to reverse the controller. You can use any plastic card and just open it up like that. So, and inside here you have F1 and F2 screws, like a bolt, and you will just use this tool which comes with the DJI Avata tool. And what you want is go to the F2 screw and just rotate it clockwise all the way down until it just stuck like that. So once that is done, what you will notice that this stick not returning back to its center position anymore, and the F1 screw here, this is responsible for the stiffness of the up and down motion of the stick. So just adjust it slightly, like a quarter turn almost, until it just stays in the position but not stiff enough, so you don't need to put a lot of force to make it up or down. So, but it should not fall once if you just shaking the control, it should not fall down. That's important. So now let's move on to the flight. So once that is done, the first exercise that you want to do is to fly with your FPV controller and stick freely moving like that. You want first to fly in the normal mode. So yeah, let me start the drone. And as you can see in the normal mode, when the stick is down, the drone is obviously not flying up, right? And it will not go up until you will center your stick around center position and up like that. So, and currently the drone is flying normally, so it will hold its position apart of the up and down thrust. So if your stick is up, it will just goes up right away and it will not stop like you used to, so the stick will not return back. Same with the down, so if it's going down, it will just crash and fall down on the ground. So, and the first thing you want to practice is fly in normal mode, but with the left stick loose. So let me start recording. So, and you're moving as is, right? So you can fly as you used to. The only difference from center positions that now you have to control the thrust manually, right? Now, one important thing to practice next, you have to get used to push the pause button whenever you need to remove your goggles or you interrupted or you just lost orientation. So for example, I'm moving upwards like that, and now suddenly, let's say you're just moving down, right? So it's falling down, oh my God, what's happening? Press the pause button. Now, regardless of your stick position, the drone will pause and hover in its position. And then when you're ready to continue, you just again move in your sticks and it will start unpausing. So pause button is really important and you have to practice it. So press the pause button, and then once you're ready to move on, just move the sticks and the drone will fly. So that's really important. So let me just pause the button. Now the next thing you want to try is you can switch to sport mode, like that. And you can also need to be comfortable in flying in sports mode, just because the speed will be faster. So you will have to get used to this as well before switching to the normal. So you can fly, move around. All right, so experiment it a little bit until you're comfortable with flying in the sports mode. And again, once you want to pause button, that's it. So I need to actually, oops. So again, I accidentally pushed the stick, so it's going up. So I just want to slightly adjust my goggles. Now, the next step you want to do, you have to check the settings. Whenever you're ready to switch to the semi-manual mode, just check the remote controller stick mode here. As you can see here, the custom mode also I set to manual over here. So whenever you switch here, by default it will be sports mode. So just set it to manual. And also what is important for your first flight, if you will go into gain and expo, as you can see here, you can change rates, but what is important, by default it should be on. And what it will do, it will actually limit the tilting and pitch axis whenever you will switch to the manual mode. So you will not be able to do the flips, but at least you will able to control your drone manually from that point, because it's quite different from sports and normal mode. So now let me switch to, let me again go down a little bit, press the pause button, and now I will switch to manual mode. And it's saying to put the stick right there. Now I am in manual mode, but with the limitation, right? So whenever you will put forward, this is the maximum, as you can see, and the drone is not flipping, it's not tilting 360 degrees, it's just limited to specific angle, so it prevents you of doing that, right? So get practice in this mode until you're comfortable flying the drone with the limited tilting action. And also what is important when you're doing the practice, just choose a day without a wind and have some open space, because it is important to have some space to fly when you're first starting. So let me just fly from over here, and again pause, and the drone just stops. Now I will go to the settings now, and to the controls, control expo. And now if I will switch it on, it will ask me to confirm. So now you're in full manual mode once you will switch it. So let me again do the switch. So again, it will ask you to put the sticks position. And one more important thing, so the gimbal rotation for the start, Try to keep it minimal, like 15 to 20 degrees, because based on that will be your actual speed, because you will try to make the horizon in the center of the frame. So at the start, you can make it like 15 to 20. So before the flight, you can set the gimbal rotation like that. And then you put in your stick in the position. So now you in full manual. So as you will see now, if I will put it, it's almost going down, right? So now you're not limited at all, and you can do the flips, the turns. So if you will do like that, right? So you flipped your drone effectively. So, and again, whenever you losing your orientation, right? So let's say you done the flip, oh my God, I'm falling down. Press the pause button and you're done. So the drone will hold the position and will start move. And as you can see, it actually starts in normal mode after that. So if you want to switch back to manual, you need to switch actually back to manual, and again the sticks, and now you're in full normal mode. So now let's get some flight. And this is so cool feeling whenever you starting to fly normal. Oh, sorry, whenever you start flying manual, it's just so good because you actually can control the drone, each motion, each movement. So you cannot achieve this kind of flight within the motion controller. And I started with the motion controller at first, but then I spent around 20 hours in the uncrash simulator just to get used to controlling the drone in manual mode. And as you can see as well, in the manual mode, the speed is getting so fast. I think you can travel up to 100 kilometers per hour on the Avata too. This is so nice. So again, I would suggest you to practice first in normal mode with the left stick loose until you feel comfortable controlling the thrust. Once you're confident with that, switch to sport mode. After you're good with that, switch to the manual mode but with limited action. And then once you feel comfortable with that mode, you are ready to switch to full manual and do all the flips and spins and just control the drone fully manual. So for me, before starting first fly, I spent, as I mentioned, quite a lot of time practicing in uncrash simulator. But I think this step-by-step workflow where you just practicing first in normal mode and in sports mode and in semi-manual and then in manual mode fully. This really make the process really easy and less stressful, as if you will just start right away fly in fully manual mode. So I hope this quick tutorial helped you to understand, at least based on my experience, what is the best way which I found for me to fly in fully manual mode, and I hope you will be able to get up to the speed fast using this approach. So, and again, important thing, whenever you're ready to land, switch the pause button. Now you switch to the normal mode, and next, like you're doing regularly, right? So it's now going down because the stick is loose. But then you can just remove your goggles, and as you used to in your cinematic drone, just go to the landing position and just land exactly the same way. Hopefully this was helpful for you guys, and if you like this kind of content, don't hesitate pushing the like button and subscribe. This will help tremendously for the growth of this channel. Thank you.